Hey friends, ZenKahuna here, double ball staff. Now generally you see me with the double ball staff and I'm working from the holding the ball, doing various types of spinning movements similar to Indian clubs. But today I'm going to show you how to use your double ball staff to assist you in calisthenics. So it just adds another dimension. One of the things I want to point out to you also is that you can, as you're doing your calisthenics with it, by either pulling on the balls or pressing the balls together, you can create isotension. So an isometric tension or dynamic tension you could call it. So that can also enhance the quality of your calisthenics. Now if you don't happen to have a double ball staff, you could just use any kind of dowel that you have. So this is a 3-foot oak that right here. And if you just have a regular staff or a stick of any kind, you can do the same kinds of movement basically. So I'm going to use primarily my double ball staff. So let's begin with feet wider than hip distance. We're going to press just like we're going to press the staff together. So we're not using maximum contraction energy here, but we are doing a good amount of pressure, so maybe 30–40% pressure against the staff. We're going to bring that up overhead, push the hips forward, push the earth away, tighten the glutes and the abdominals, and then what we're going to do is just sit down and back up. So this is our inhalation, exhalation. Starting to warm up the body. Keep that pressure against the balls. Then we're going to go into the twist and crank. So one arm stays straight, one bends. So what you do is you push with the straight arm against the bent arm. Starts to get the area around the waist, shoulders, chest girdle. And bring it down. Shoulder rolls. So we're going to roll it back. We're going to continue maintaining this pressure against the staff, holding the balls here, pressing in, and roll the shoulders. Then we're going to take the staff up and up. Now again, what I'm doing with this lower hand, pushing the staff up, thus stretching under the arm, getting the lat stretched more. Some of the rotator cuff getting activated. So I'm actively pushing up with the bottom hand. Now I use this kind of warm-up frequently for kettlebells, maces, or club. So I warm up with this double ball staff, calisthenics, and then get to swinging with the heavier equipment. Next up, what we're going to do is comes underneath the arm, bend over. We do that from the high position. So, from the high position, you bring one arm down towards the underarm. Then, keeping your arm and head in the same relative position to each other, down, back up, and alternate sides. And down. Let's roll the shoulders again. So while we're doing this, you want to be pushing the earth away with your feet, lengthening spine towards the sky, engage the glutes and the abs. All right, next up, we're going to do a slight bend in the knees. So hips go back, knees come forward, and we're going to have your double ball staff overhead. We're going to do twisted X forward bend. So, twisted X, forward bend. So I'm staying in this bent knee position. Cross the arm the opposite way. Now, as I twist into that crossed arm position, I am pulling my arms against the balls here at the end of the staff. So I'm squeezing the staff together. Now you can pick up the pace a little bit. Last one. All right. Then what we're going to do is put a little rotational energy into this. So we're going to step back. The staff comes to the center of my chest. So we've got one ball center of the chest. This hand goes on top of the ball. Then I rotate back, step forward. Center of the chest, rotate back. So let me show it to you from the side. You get the idea? Here we go. So this hand is going to rotate all the way from the shoulder, not just from the elbow. Rotate over, twist, forward. And down. Roll the shoulders. Then we're going to do another step back. So we're going to step back and you're going to bring your arms up and back. Now there's a slightly different version you can also do where you step back, and so here's the leg that's back. You're going to turn the arm so that your double ball staff, you're directly going back over the leg. And I actually prefer that version better. So let's go ahead and do that. So left leg is back. So right arm is going to cross my body, and we're going to push back over that leg. I'm going to stay strong in both legs, but as you're leaning back, of course, you're loading the rear leg more. Look at it from the side. So, step back with my left leg, right arm's going to come across. Step back with my right leg, left arm's going to come across. So when I step back and bring my arm up, I'm pushing with the hand that's in front, pushing back actively. All right, you got the idea on that one. All right, next up, we're going to step back again, and we're going to rotate again, but we're not going to bend the arm in. We're going to keep the arm out, and then you take the back arm first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step forward. Step back. Rotate. So back arm. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from the side, one, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Now while I'm doing this rotation, you can see that I'm staying upright. I'm not leaning back, nor am I leaning forward, so I'm staying upright, and I'm pushing the staff towards the center of the staff. And forward. Let's do a few more repetitions. I like this one a lot because it opens up the intercostal muscles, serratus anterior. It's a great move. It's wonderful for the shoulder joint. Great. Many of these moves that I'm showing today, I created to help me in shoulder recovery. I damaged my left shoulder. And down. Once again, roll the shoulders. All right, so you can tell from what you've seen me do with this, we could do something similar with just a straight stick. Now, I don't like using a straight stick as much, but if this is what you have, it's what you use. So you can do it with a hold this way, where you've got your staff held in the center of your palm. Boom. It's a good way of doing it, because then you get that pressure, and you can do many of the same kinds of moves that way as I did with the double ball staff. But you could also just hold it like so. It won't be quite the same, but it'll be close enough. This isn't rocket science. So a staff like this, 3 feet long, you can go to most hardware stores and get these. They have them in oak or sometimes poplar, and it'll cost you just a few bucks, $3, $4, $5, something like that, not much. And of course, if you have a longer staff, you can also use it. So the main thing to keep in mind is always use whatever you have to do whatever you want to do. You have to be creative. You want to improvise, modify, customize. You want to explore, experiment, make it an adventure of movement. Remember, what you're doing, if you're training with me at all, even on YouTube, is we're looking at what? Learning movement literacy. We want to become fluent in our language of movement, right? So this isn't, oftentimes it's not talked about in most videos that you see, but developing a good movement literacy is essential to a good quality of life. We see so many times people as they age where their posture's shot and they're hobbling along and they've got no ankle flexibility anymore, their knees are shot. It doesn't have to go that way. But the way it does go that way is because people never learned good movement patterns. They never developed a fluency in the literacy of movement. So I invite you to make it part of your movement practice to discover and deepen your literacy with movement. Make it fun because ultimately you are the guru.